Today we're rating cards from March of the Machines. We're gonna rate them. I haven't seen any of them, frankly. I mean, I have seen spoilers, but they go through one ear and out the other. Let's start with Jin Gitaxias. The Jin Gitaxias for a blue 3 generic. We've got a 5/5 Ward 2. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell with mana value 3 or greater, draw a card. I actually think that already is a pass already for me. Probably still, I mean, there's still more words on this card. Blue 3 generic, exile Jin Gitaxias, then return it to the battlefield transformed under its owner's control. Only activate as a sorcery and only if you have 7 or more cards in hand. All right, we're gonna need them cards, right? We're gonna need them cards. All right, what's the transform part? Oh, we got the Great Synthesis. Draw cards equal to the number of cards in your hand. So wait, you're gonna draw another 7 cards? Because you need 7 cards to even do this. You have no maximum hand size as long as you control the Great Synthesis. Chapter 2, return all non-Phyrexian creature to their owner's hands. Oh my god, this card is getting insane. And 3 mana, you may cast any number of spells from your hand without paying their mana cost. Exile the Great Synthesis, then return it to the battlefield. Oh, so you get to do this all over again. Yeah, I don't think this is the most oppressive card of all time, but it's going to be a good fun card. It's going to be really good value. I know the pain of trying to get 7 cards in your hand, though. Sometimes it's not easy. Furious Gamer, Slimefoot, and Squee. They bring Squee back, is what you're telling me. They're bringing Squee. Slimefoot and Squee, green, red, black for a 3/3 fungus goblin. Whenever Slimefoot and Squee enter the battlefield or attack, create a 1/1 green sapperling creature token. And we got the ability, 1 black, red, green, sacrifice a sapperling, return Slimefoot and Squee and up to 1 other target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate only as a sorcery, so this is a reanimator. Return Slimefoot and up to 1 other target creature. Hold on, sacrifice a sapperling, return Slimefoot and Squee. Oh, so so hold on, do we have to kill this thing first? And 1 other target, it's like it comes back from the grave. Squee has never been a really good card, ever, anywhere. I know there's the Squee fans out there trying to make Squee work in anything. Activate only as a sorcerer. Alright, well, okay, we're gonna give it a pass for just like a lot of things that it does. Not that much in love with the card, though. Quay says, good morning. Hooray for the 3 unplayable merfolk in the set. You can always count on more unplayable merfolk. Robert with the super chat. Yargle and Multani might be my new favorite card in the whole game. Oh, you know what? I have a great story to tell about this card. So my brother is like, did you see that new card? It's like a 7/18 creature or something like that. I'm like, what are you describing, a AI generated card? No, it was real. It was retweeted by Aspiring Spike. And like we go through Aspiring Spike's entire Twitter history, and I'm like, it's not here. It doesn't exist. I'm like, no! And he says, and there was a name, it was really long in Gerblish. And I said, that is definitely an AI generated card. There's no way in hell this was real. So anyway, with a lot more time, I guess, he went and found out it was Saffron Olive that actually tweeted it, and it was Yargle and Multalny with a bizarre giant power and toughness. And again, and here's the big, weird, incomprehensible word that he had in his mind, but he couldn't recollect if that was actually the name of the card. I've heard much about you, my daughter, Multani rumbled. There was a time when I'd balk at your aid, Phantom, but she has shown me the merit in Urborg's strange ways. Sounds like an AI-generated flavor text. Anyway, the card is useless. The card is completely useless. If you want an 18/6 creature and the Golgari colors, go for it. By all means. Yeah, what a wholesome fellow this Yargle guy is. Absolutely. Furious Gamer with Breach the Multiverse. Breach the Multiverse. Okay, black, 5 generic sorcery. Each player mills 10 cards. For each player, choose a creature or planeswalker card in that player's graveyard. Put those cards onto the battlefield under your control. Then each creature you control becomes a Phyrexian in addition to its other types. 7 mana. I mean, yeah, I mean, if you're playing Battle Cruiser Commander, sure, go for it. Maybe you can pull this thing off. But, you know, it's one of those cool effect, but they make sure it's costs enough that it doesn't see any actual tournament play or anything like that. Zykurin is like, whoa, 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 Nikachu, you can fling him for 18 damage. Yeah, okay, you do that. You splash that extra red for doing that. You can't even do that in Commander. Because the color well, I guess you can, you could have Slimefoot and Squee as your commander, and then Yargle and Mutani just as a fling target. Okay, we've got Abzo, Dusk, Legion, Duelist. They're like bringing this is like the biggest crossover set of all time, right? All right, white, 1 generic for a 2/2 with Vigilance. It's a vampire. When 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put on Dusk, Legion, Duelist, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. Interesting. But not a human. How do you get counters on this thing? I guess in some world that might work. I'm not a huge fan of this thing. I'm somewhere in between. I don't know where to... It has potential. See, here's one thing I don't like about this card. There's no ETB. You don't get any immediate value. It's just it's literally a grizzly bear. Unless you got the synergy, you just got a grizzly bear on the battlefield. Yeah, I'd probably have to use Luminarch Aspirant, and then it would be crazy. So Luminarch Aspirant at your combat step, you can put a counter on a creature. So you could put the Aspirant in first, then the Legion Duelist later. That would work. That would work. Tura Yawat. Urabrask. Let's get in them. Well, which one? Okay, hold on. I gotta find the new Phyrexian one. It's gotta be this one. They all got their OG names now. Red, 2 generic for a 4/4 first strike. What the hell is this thing? Phyrexian Praetor? Oh, it's like a Phyrexian Negator, right? Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Urabrask deals 1 damage to target opponent. Add a red. Pay a red. Exile Urabrask, then return it to the battlefield, transformed under its owner's control. Activate only as a sorcery, and only if you've cast 3 or more instant or sorcery spells this turn. Alright, we got the great work. Chapter 1, deals 3 damage to target opponent and each creature they control. Chapter 2, create 3 treasure tokens. Chapter 3, till end of turn you may cast instant and sorcery spells from any graveyard. If a spell would put into a graveyard, exile it instead, then exile and put it back on the battlefield. I don't like it. I don't really like it. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, deals 1 damage to target opponent, add a red. Maybe, here's the problem is, like, this will work well in a deck with a lot of spells, and that's hard to balance. That's just a hard thing to balance. Do you want a lot of red creatures? Do you want a lot of red spells? And if you're on the heavy red spell plan, then you don't got a lot of beef to your deck. You know, you're burn spell world. So, I mean, it does a lot of cool things, but that thing is hard to enable. Hard to enable, in my opinion. We got the Invasion of Ulgrotha. I would personally just use Yargle with Disciple of Bulls. Yeah, you go do that. It's just a bad it is a bad Burgie. That is true. This and Storm will be wild. Well, yeah, you know what? Actually, you know, I forgot. You don't have to transform it. So this could be just a transforming... I mean, this could be just a... what's it called? A Storm Enabler. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, deals 1 damage to target opponent, and you add a red. Still, 4 mana. 4 mana is a lot of mana. I guess you could ritual it into play. This is a card. You gotta prove it. You got prove to me that it's good. Kill me with this thing. Urabrask looks like it has potential. Feels like someone will find a way to drop it, then just go for the kill. Can't even remove him in response if you use instants to pop off. That is true. You could protect it by paying the red. But it won't come out for another 3 turns. Wait, what was the last one I just saw? Invasion. The Invasion of Ulgrotha. Oh, it's these weird cards. Alright, Invasion of Ulgrotha, black 4 generic, for a siege. When Invasion of Ulgrotha enters the battlefield, it deals 3 damage to any other target, and you gain 3 life. Okay, what's the other side? Doesn't it have another side? Alright, what's on the other side? We got Grandmother Ravi Sengir. Oh, with the Sengirs! We just looked at Homelands. There were several Sengirs there. Perfectly timed. 3/3 flying. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a counter on Grandmother's Ravi Sengir, and you gain 1 life. Not worth the effort. Not even damn close. My brother wants to build a Pioneer card with Galta and Mono Black Sorin. Go for it. Okay, we got Beanpot, the Invasion of Ikoria. Are any of these gonna see competitive play? Like, even in Standard? Is that even possible? The Invasion of Ikoria. Green X. When Invasion of Ikoria enters the battlefield, search your library and or graveyard for a non-human creature card with mana value X or less, put onto the battlefield. Whoa! Whoa! Slow down! It's gotta be a non-human. Isn't this just another... It's... How many of these, like, not Hour of Devastation. Something Devastation. It's a tutor. It's the Finale of Devastation. It's the same thing, but with upside. Alright, if you search your library this way, shuffle it. See, it always tells you to shuffle your library, no matter what. So what's on the other side? We got... Zealorth, Apex of Ikoria. Reach. For each non-human creature you control, you may have that creature assign its combat damage as though it weren't blocked. What? For each non-human, you may have that creature assign... Okay, so if it gets blocked, you get to deal them damage anyway. This has potential. Maybe this can actually be played. Maybe this has a chance in hell. Because the front side is playable. But, like, well, you have to take a turn off to go kill it. And then it turns into the thing. It's like Wizards of the Coast knows its generation loves dinos. Oh, yes. That's why we're going back. That's why we're going back to Ixalan. For them Dino Masters. Did we find out what the number on the bottom right stands for on the battle? Yeah, I think you can attack it. Anyone can attack it. And I think that's how it transforms, right? You and others can... It says here, as the siege enters, choose an opponent to protect it. You and others can attack it when it's defeated, exile it, and cast its transformed. Cast the transform part. So I guess that's the idea of it being a battle. If you win the evasion or the siege, if you win the siege, you get the thing-a-bob. Anyway, that's how. Can you bolt it? Probably. Gonna put Invasion of Ikoria in your bolt deck? Oh, Box of Box. Borborygmos. There's another Borborygmos. Borborig. Apparently, that actually means something. I thought Borborygmos was just a random name. Borborygmos literally means like an upset stomach or something like that. Something to that effect. And I was like, well, Borborygmos enraged must be diarrhea. All right, red, blue, green, 2 generic. It's a 6/5 Cyclops Homunculus. Are they both Cyclopses? I guess they're both Cyclopses. Oh, they're two peas in a pod. Whenever Borborygmos and Philip enters the battlefield or attacks, draw a card, then you may discard any number of land cards. When you discard 1 or more cards this way, Borborygmos and Philip deals twice that much damage to target creature. You can pay a blue 1 generic. Put Borborygmos and Phillips into its owner's library, 3rd from the top. It's garbage. I don't really care for this card. Whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, draw a card, then you may discard name. I'm not in love with it. What, 5 mana looting? Absolutely. I'm not getting that excited over this card. Anyone want a 5 mana? People are gonna play these cards for the flavor, not really for how good it is. They want to play with Borborygmos and Philip the thingy mabob. I don't get how you play the sorcery back half of the battles if they transform during the combat step. I don't know. I don't make the rules around here. Borborygmos, a rumbling or gurgling noise made by the movement of fluid and gas in the intestines. That's exactly what it is. So when it's enraged, it's diarrhea. All right, okay. We got a super chat here, but before we get to that super chat, we got to thank our sponsors today. FusionGamingOnline.com. We're going to rate more Magic the Gathering cards. And if you need to get, you got so many things from FusionGamingOnline.com. The Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle-earth, March of the Machines. Where's the March? There we go. March of the Machines singles. And of course, the deal of the week this week, 15% off new Capenna singles and sealed product. If you get anything from Fusion, don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu at checkout for 5% off all your purchases, and it supports the channel. You're also going to we got to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online to play any format, any deck, Any singles, any sideboard you want. You want to play Pioneer with a transformational sideboard? Go for it. You want to play Legacy? You want to even play Dual Commander? You can play regular Commander, but it's hard to get 3 other Commander players to play on Magic the Gathering Online. So it's a bit of an ugly experience. Outside of that, I love Magic the Gathering Online. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_U3V. Sweet. Okay, back to Borborygmos. Okay, what was our super chat here from Stetson? Thank you so much, Stetson. Lithomantic Barrage is better than... Oh, is it better than Rending Volley, you say? But it's sorcery. No, it's not better. Rending Volley is instant speed. Spell can't be countered. Lithomantic Barrage deals 1 damage to target creature or player. It deals 5 damage instead if that target is white or blue. Ah, so it can hit anything. You know what? I like this card anyway. I think that's a cool card. But it's not strictly better than Rending Volley, because Rending Volley is instant speed to answer creature combo decks. That's the whole point of that thing. But that's okay. Stetson's like, didn't see that. I still like the card. It's actually a little bit more versatile because you could bring it in against any deck. It's just you deal 5 damage if the creature happens to be white or blue. Flyman, Fairy Mastermind. Oh, the invitation. Sorry, the champion. I think his name is Takahashi. I don't remember. Okay, the World Magic Champion got their own Magic card. Blue 1 generic for a 2/1. Oh, here you go. Yeah, it is. Yuta Takahashi, World Champion. Flash flying whenever an opponent draws a card. Draws their 2nd card each turn. You draw a card. That is sick. That is a sick card. You could play this at flash speed, by the way. So you like, oh, you want to draw a card with your, like, I don't know, Ledger Shredder? In response, Fairy Mastermind, I draw a card. It's like basically an instant speed Silver Gill Adept. And you can pay a blue 3 generic. Each player draws a card. So you're going to draw 2 cards, and your opponent draws 1. That's actually an insane card. I'm really interested to see how that is going to work out in all competitive formats. It's going to bring a lot of life. They don't got a lot of good 2-drops for fairies. I've looked. It's sort of crap. They don't got a lot. They got nothing. Slim pickings. So this card is an absolute winner. Maybe the best card in the set. Prove me wrong, people. King Ginger with the super chat. You're not usually a super chatter. Okay, Itali. Primal Sickness. So you must really love this card. Red 5 generic. Oh my goodness. It's a dinosaur. It's a 7/7 trampler. When Itali Primal Conqueror enters the battlefield, each player exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card. You may cast any number of spells from among the non-land cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost. So this is like super cascade. Enters the battlefield, I get to cascade off of everybody. Each player exiles cards, yeah, until they hit a non-land card. I'll take that, I'll take that, I'll take that. And then what else? And oh, it's also green. Look at that, people. It's a legendary. You can play this legendary dino, and that green mana symbol means you get to play Gruul in your commander deck. Transform Itali, activate only as a sorcery. Becomes an 11/11. Oh my god, you look very sick, Itali. Your skin is non-existent. In fact, it's all gone. Trample Indestructible. Whenever Itali Primal Sickness deals combat damage to a player, they get that many poison counters. So you just one-shot kill them. My verdict is, this card is very expensive. It's very expensive. I could be wrong. I don't know. As a commander card, okay, here you go. Commander card, playable. Although still awkward. As a competitive Magic the Gathering card, just awful, useless nonsense. It's never going to see play in Modern. 7 mana. For 7/7, you have to pay 10 mana just to turn into a Blightsteel Colossus? Yeah, it's Blightsteel at home. You can only do it at sorcery speed. Imagine you could do that instant speed, just attack someone with 10 mana up, or I guess 9. Yeah, okay, I got one from you. We gotta spread the love around. I refuse to play against this card. Are you guys, are commander players that threatened by the Itali Primal Conqueror? Maybe I should have had you guys vote on these cards. Do you think Lord of the Rings will shake up Modern? Probably. They're printing cards directly into Modern. 10 mana or 9 and 2 life, and Gruul isn't that bad. That's such a weird cost. Like, just 1 Phyrexian, is it like even gonna matter all that much in Commander? I got 40 life! Easily I'll play that thing, no problem. Okay, there are all... that's not a very polite username in the Magic the Gathering sphere. We're gonna move to Zykurin. It's back. Is basically Blight. Oh, sorry. I thought you were gonna like name something. Yeah, it is. It is Blightsteel Colossus. 100% Blightsteel Colossus. Thalia and Gitrog Monster. Oh yeah, they did make that thing, didn't they? Thalia and Gitrog Monster. I think Pleasant Kenobi is a huge fan of this card. All right, we got green, black, white, 1 generic, 4/4 human frog horror. First strike, death touch. You may play an additional land on each of your turns. Creatures and non-basic lands your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. And whenever Thalia and the Gitrog Monster attacks, sacrifice a creature or land, then draw a card. So this is this actually might see some play everywhere. It's got first strike, death touch. You can play extra lands. It's a taxing effect where it makes your opponent like put all their lands onto the battlefield tapped, and their creatures. And whenever it attacks, sack a creature or land, then draw a card. I like this card. This card is great. The Jaded says Lord of the Rings so far does not seem anything for current Modern. Depends on, well, like we only saw like a little speck of what that whole entire thing is. The set has not been released. Super. Thank you very much, Super. The card I'm most excited for is Zimone and Dina. Zimone and Dina. Holy moly! Only 3 mana for a 3/4 human dryad. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Then tap, sack another creature, draw a card. You may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. If you control 8 or more lands, repeat this process once. Sack a creature, draw a card. You may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. If you control 8 or more lands, repeat this. Oh, that's actually pretty crazy. That's a great card. It's got good value, good life, and it's a good card draw. And ramp! You're going to need, like, you need some creature fodder to sacrifice. That's for sure. You're going to need some creature fodder. Yeah, 3 mana for a 3/4. Yeah, basically no drawback. Well, the drawback is that it's legendary. Look how many legendary creatures they're cramming into Magic the Gathering these days. Okay, Moment of Truth. What do we have here? Blue 1 generic instant. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put 1 of those cards into your hand, 1 into your graveyard, and 1 on the bottom of your library. Is this better than what we already have? Look at the top 3 cards, put 1 of them into your hand, 1 into your graveyard, 1 on the bottom of your library. I'm trying to think. Is this better or worse than cards that we already have? I have a feeling this is a good card. Someone will use this. In fact, especially if you can use the graveyard as a resource, then it's like almost like instant speed expressive iteration. Because expressive iteration was like blue-red. You got to put a card in exile. But what if you could use, like, what if you put a Arclight Phoenix in the graveyard? It's probably pretty good. Anyway, this card has a lot of potential. Yeah, this could see a super competitive play. We got Herbert. Thank you very much for the super chat. Herbert, Invasion of Urgamon. Invasion of Urgamon. Green red for 5 loyalty. When Invasion of Urgamon enters the battlefield, create a treasure token. Then you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Okay, that's actually a siege. So it's basically, it's ramp, and you get to loot, and it has upside. Or sorry, it's rummaging, right? It's rummaging. And it's got the upside of being a 3/4 trampler. And as a battlefield, you may discard a card. If you do, search your library for a land or battle card. Reveal and put in your hand. Okay, this card's great. This actually looks really good. And maybe you could like keep chaining these rhinos together. Maybe that's the maybe that's the idea. It's 2 mana. Create a treasure. Discard loot. I don't know who would use this, but it seems okay. Sakura and Nikachu, why was there no mocks in these artifact sets like new mocks? Well, because they're broken! I'm glad they're slowing down on the Moxen. They should have slowed down on the Moxen since Alpha and Beta. That's absolutely crazy. David Soroka with the super chat. Galta and... We got Galta's back? This is like a bigger war than War of the Spark. Okay, we got white, white, green, green, 3 generic for a 12/12. This reminds me of Siege Rhino. Siege Rhino had this big thing on the back and one little dork on top, and then they were riding the Rhino. And instead of the Rhino, we got a Galta. The Dinosaur Vampire. Okay, it's got trample. Whenever you attack, choose 1. Create a tapped and attacking XX green dinosaur creature token with trample, where X is the greatest power among attacking other attacking creatures. So you can't make like another Galta. And or you could create X 1/1 white vampire creature tokens with lifelink, where X is the number of other attacking creatures. Wild. I'll let it pass. That's a pretty neat card. I didn't see. Yeah, we saw some of them. Hey, you guys name the Praetors. I'll look them up. Jade is like, so far the 2nd worst set of all time. I hate battles so much. But how is it any different from some other stupid, weird mechanic that I completely ignore in a set? Battles are weird. What a weird card type. But whatever. It is what it is. Did we look at the invasion of Zendikar? Another battle. When Invasion of Zendikar enters the battlefield, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, put it onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle, and then you transform it. We got Awakened Skyclave, a 4/4 Vigilance Haste. As long as Awakened Skyclave is on the battlefield, it's a land in addition to its other types, and tap, add 1 mana of any color. This is I'm not really getting excited over this card. 4 mana for ramp? I'm gonna put in the dumpster pile. It's not one. To be fair, the guy said that he hated battles. Username was on flavor. All right. Summon Galto. Oh! Oh my goodness! Oh my, you're right. So there is a Sorin. Sorin, I don't remember. Imperious Bloodlord with the -3 may put a vampire creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. But as of like today, we haven't got the creature yet. Oh, but this still might not be broken because these effects only matter. The effects only matter if you have other creatures. Like it does better in another way where X is the number of other attacking creatures. Doesn't have good Sorin synergy. This is a big 12/12 trampler. Wow, that's crazy. Jack Torborg. Yo, have we rated Invasion of Kylem? What the hell is that? Invasion of Kylem. Spell Shift, baby. They only printed 1, but it's all I need. I don't get it. Alright, we got the Invasion of Kylem for a white, red, 2 generic. When Invasion of Kylem enters the battlefield, up to 2 target creatures each get +2/+0 and gain vigilance and haste until end of turn. We got the transform part. Sorcery. Is that how the spell shift works? I can't remember how your combo works. It's a sorcery on the back. Oh yeah, that's what you need. You need as many sorceries in your deck as possible. Create 2 3/2 red and white warrior creature tokens with whenever this creature and at least 1 other creature token attack, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature. For Jack Torborg, this is great for his combo deck. For everyone else, I don't think this is a very exciting card. Not very interesting. Kylem equals setting of Battle Bond, the 2-headed giant set. Oh, that's interesting. Can we rate Hidetsugu? Hidetsugu and Carry. Or Kyrie. Hidetsugu and Kyrie! Black, blue, blue, 2 generic for a 5/4 Ogre Demon Dragon with flying. When Hidetsugu and Kyrie enter the battlefield, draw 3 cards, then put 2 cards from your hand on top of your library in any order. When Hidetsugu and Kyrie dies, exile the top card of your library. Target opponent loses life equal to its mana value. If it's an instant or a sorcery card, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. You draw. So enters the battlefield, you draw 3 cards, discard 2, or no, then put 2 cards from your hand. Oh, so it's a Brainstorm. 5 mana Brainstorm. That Zybers with me, I'll tell you that right now. And it's got upside. When it dies, exile the top card, you get to target. So you can stack your deck effectively with, like, I don't know, a big Eldrazi and make people lose life equal to that Eldrazi. Sweet card. All right, we got Zykurin. Thank you so much for the super chat. Galta works with Sorin, Lord of Innistrad as well. Make a Sorin Vampire themed deck. What, with Galta? Works with Sorin. Okay, hold on. Sorin, Lord of Innistrad. Put a 1/1 vampire token. Well, I don't know. Maybe disrupt the 3 target creatures and/or other planeswalkers. Return each card put into a graveyard this way to the battlefield under your control. You mean like just keep making little dinky vampires until you can like get enough vampires to make a bunch of vampires? I mean, okay, sure. That's some pretty loose synergy in my opinion, though. It's pretty loose. Wrong Sorin. Oh, is it Sorin the Mirthless? Sorin. The Mirthless. The top card of your library. You may reveal that card, put it into your hand. If you do, lose life. Oh god, no, we're not using that. Make a 2/3 black vampire creature token. Sorin the Mirthless that deals... I don't get it, you guys. Yeah, it's just Sorin Imperious Bloodlord. It's just that one. That's the only synergy I see here. Get out of here. There's a lot of Sorins, but the only one will work with Galta and Mavrin. All right, moving. We got to move on. We got Fart You with Errant and Giada. Giada. Am I pronouncing this right? Oh, we got 3 mana. White, blue, 1 generic, 2/3 human angel, flash flying. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast spells with flash or flying from the top of your library. I like it. Actually, this could see competitive play. It's a human angel, so flash flying. It's like a super, what's that stupid changeling thing in green? It's like you name a creature type, you can play cards off the top of your library if it's that creature type. You can cast spells with flash or flying from the top of your library. Oh, but you do have to, it's got to be flash or flying. It'd be great in a flash deck, people. Cast Snapcaster Mage for free. And Restoration Angels and stuff. Things like that. I like it. I think it has potential. Turn 1, Mist Land Drop. Pelucranos Reborn. Pelucranos Reborn. He's back. Did he die? I didn't know. 3 mana for a 4/5 creature? With Reach. And it can transform. Activate only as a sorcery. So 6 mana and 2 life. We got Pelucranos, Engine of Ruin. The 6/6 Reach lifelink. Whenever Pelucranos, Engine of Ruin, or another non-token Hydra you control dies, create a 3/3 green and white Phyrexian Hydra creature token with Reach and a 3/3 green and white Phyrexian Hydra creature token with lifelink. I have a feeling that this, I mean, this is not a very exciting commander card, but I think actually this could see a lot of competitive play. You know, 3 mana. It's hard to get a lot out of 3 mana these days. This actually has Reach too. So it could block, I don't know, Dragon Rage Chandler or something. Yeah, mono green Stomp. I mean, it doesn't have to be mono green Stompy. I mean, it could be Selesnya Stompy. It could be Gruul Stompy. Gruul Stompy's gonna love it. Okay, what else do we have here? Oh yeah, Realm Walker is the card I was thinking. Thank you very much, Jesse. David Sampson. Block Sarah... Yeah. You could block a Sarah Angel with this thing. Stetson. Stetson, welcome back. Thank you very much. Inga and Asika because reindeer kitties. Bad card. Inga and Asika. Or they're bringing Asika back. Oh, this is cute. Oh, we got the... I love the kitties. Are the kitties really the ones pulling the chariot? That's a bit weird. Anyway, blue-green, 2 generic for a 4/4. Creatures you control have vigilance and have tap. Add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast creature spells. Whenever you cast a creature spell, if 3 or more mana was spent from creatures was spent on it, draw a card. I think that's pretty good. I think that's not bad. You use your creatures to tap and add... But it's more of a commander card. It's definitely not going to see play in... I don't think it will see competitive play. What, if 3 or more mana from creatures was... Yeah, so you can't abuse it in elves because they're tiny. They're tiny wee little creatures. And they're on Rainbow Road. Shout out to anyone who's going to see the Mario movie. I will see it eventually. I will see the Mario movie eventually. I'm really hyped to see Rainbow Road on the Mario movie. Okay, Mies. Herolf of Hoofbeats. So many crossovers. Okay, we got... Is this even from the set? Oh, it is. Oh, it's the March of the Machine Commander. Okay, that's fine. We got blue 3 generic for a 3/3 human knight with horsemanship, and other knights you control have horsemanship. All right, we're gonna pass this thing for horsemanship. What was that? Like a Portal 3 card or something? We haven't seen horsemanship in like forever. All right, what else we got here? We got Alex. Thank you so much for the super chat. Brimaz. Blight of Oreskos. Black, white, 2 generic for a 3/4 Phyrexian cat. Oh, Brimaz, you've gone to the dark side. Whenever you cast a Phyrexian creature or artifact creature spell, incubate X, where X is that spell's mana value. Create an incubator token with X +1/+1 counters on it, and have 2. Transform this artifact. It transforms into a 0/0 Phyrexian artifact creature. I don't get it. Cast a Phyrexian creature or artifact spell. You can incubate it. Oh, it can turn into a creature. I get it. So it can turn it. So the artifact can turn into a creature. At the beginning of each end step, if a Phyrexian died under your control this turn, proliferate. This is a hard card to evaluate, because I have no idea what this looks like in play. Like, maybe it's good? Like, proliferating is pretty strong, but I have no idea. This is gonna be one of those, it could be crap, but maybe it's great if someone can prove it to me. It's just a weird card to get my head around. Like, obviously, it's a type of card that requires a lot of synergy, and whenever you cast creatures or artifact spells, you at least get to incubate. So you get a token every single time you cast stuff. You proliferate the +1/+1 on the incubator tokens. Yes, true story. So this could be like completely broken or like really hard to build around, and I just cannot get my mind around it. Yeah, the new horseman. People talk about the new horsemanship. New horsemanship, yes, lollers. We're back. We've got horsemanship back, baby. What do you think about battles? I think they're weird, but whatever. There's a lot of weird stuff in this game. We'll do Invasion of Kaladesh. What is that? Invasion of Kaladesh. Well, they invaded everywhere. Another one. Enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 Calistopter artifact creature token with flying. When it transforms, turns into a star 4 creature. Aetherwing, the Aetherwing golden scale flagship's power is equal to the number of artifacts you control. Crew 1. This is garbage. It's absolute garbage. It's like, it needs to be in an artifact deck. You have to play 2 colors. I don't like it. 2 thumbs down. We got Fireburn here, though. Just wanted to send some love your way and for you to make fun of how awful Cut Short is. I'll do that right for you, Fireburn. Cut Short. We got the Wanderer. Wanderer's got their own instant. Okay, white 2 generic for an instant with Convoke. Destroy target Planeswalker that was activated this turn or tapped creature. But it's got Convoke! Destroy target Planeswalker that was activated this turn or tapped creature. Yeah, it's a limited card. Yeah, it's a limited card. Yeah, cut short. Cut short is cool. Target planeswalker that was activated this turn. You activated that thing, or I'm blowing it up. It's gone. Still, it's like a little bit too narrow. A little too narrow for my tastes. All right, we got Andre. Thank you very much for the super chat. Just sending support. Wish there was more smaller sets instead of this mishmash lore-wise. This is a big mishmash. This is the type of set. Well, where's one of those mishmash cards? Yeah, Inga and Nasika. This is like one of those, I don't know, one of those flashback episodes, one of those crossover episodes. This is like when they start running out of ideas, so they start crossing over everything. Not that they literally have run out of ideas. But this was a great opportunity for the Eldrazi to attack the Phyrexians and win. I wanted to see the Phyrexians versus the Eldrazi so bad. What happened to Emrakul? She's entrapped in a moon. Did they try to take her over too? Or did that just not happen? And it's the Eldrazi that also take over things like Phyrexians. Like who assimilates who? It's the battle for the multiverse. Should have been duked out by them. It was the battle I was waiting for like 10 years. It didn't even happen. Such crap. Okay, we got Pandemon with Scorn Blade Berserker. Now, the Scorn Blade Berserker is a 1-mana 0/1 human berserker with backup 1. Creature enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, which could be itself. If that's another creature, it gains the following ability until end of turn. Pay 1, sack this creature, draw a card. Well, that sucks. What, I want to sack their creature? I'm going to put the counter on something and I'm going to sacrifice it. But it could be a 1/2 for 1 mana. No, I don't like it. No, I don't like it. So did they address the Eldrazi in this set? I guess not. It's probably in a 2024 set. Well, what happened? Did the Phyrexians lose? I don't mind spoilers. Like, I barely know the story anyway. Okay, D. Scotes. Thank you very much for the super chat. Kenra Spell Spear is pretty solid. Kenra Spell. We got the Kenra Spell Spear, red, 1 generic, 2/2, trample and prowess. I'm always afraid of prowess creatures, in my opinion. Okay, it's got a Phyrexian set. Phyrexian 3, transform it, and it transforms into the Gitaxian Spellstalker. 3/3, trample and ward 2, prowess. And prowess? Holy crap. That's insane. So in the late game, this is interesting. And has trample. Oh my goodness. This could see very real play. This is instant win. This could be broken. The trample is insane. The trample is insane. And then like if the board, and it still has trample and it double prowesses. It's disgusting. I hope this isn't one of those. Well, first off, I'm hoping I'm overrating this card because it's these types of cards that destroy me. They eat me for lunch, and I don't want to get eaten for lunch. So yeah, I think it danger big time. Like one big problem with those prowess creatures is sometimes they're sort of crappy in the later portion of the game, but this thing can be really beefy. Yeah, 2x prowess. 2x prowess, that's broken. That's really broken. It's like, actually, it looks like an AI generated card. Prowess. Why would they ever? They had to have taken that from an AI generated card. They got the idea from somewhere else. Wizards of the Coast would never come up with that themselves. Never would have happened. Okay, we got Geyer here. First comes horsemanship, then comes flanking, and finally banding comes back home. Yeah, they're bringing it all back. Zai Curran with the super chat. What chaos are you trying to create with Eldrazi and Phyrexian, the end of Magic as you know? What happens if they became both? I don't know. Maybe they just destroy each other. There's an inner conflict, the hive mind of the Phyrexians and the Eldrazi's. But I thought that would just be a cool battle. It's like two unstoppable forces that are trying to assimilate everything. It's like when a black hole meets another black hole. It's the way I look at it. And maybe it neutralizes itself out in some way. King Ginger, thank you very much for the super chat. Liliana's talent. Oh, she's talented, all right. Talent cycle, commander cards. Black, oh, sweet picture. 10 out of 10. I like the birds and the skull over there. All right, black. It's an aura. Well, that sucks. You enchant a planeswalker. Enchanted Planeswalker has -8. Put all creature cards from all graveyards onto the battlefield under your control. Whenever a creature deals damage to Enchanted Planeswalker, destroy that creature. Oh! Okay, I thought the first half was garbage. I was willing to let you, okay, like, this is not useful at all. But the second half is pretty sick. So you have to kill that Planeswalker in one shot. And even if you do, you're going to lose your creature, no matter what. That's actually pretty good. And this is unique design space. I like it. We'll not see competitive play, but it'll make people sweat at the commander table. All right, what else do we got here? Who hasn't got a shot at saying something? Theo Brand, did you get something? Toski got completed and didn't get a card. Really? You're right. Did not get a card. Wow. Toski got forgotten. Poor Toski. Yeah, we did Yargle. Okay, I guess we'll go, Tommy, I don't think I got one from you. Danger will... Oh, this is not an actual card. You're just referencing you're saying the last card was Danger. All right, Christopher B with New Heliod. Oops, I literally looked up New Heliod. Which one's the New Heliod? A lot of Heliod cards out there. Yeah, I'm looking. Did Heliod come back? How is Heliod back? I thought he was... No, hold on. No, I'm thinking of the Planeswalker. Heliod is a god. All right, white, 2 generic for a 4/4 god. When Heliod the Radiant Dawn enters the battlefield, return target enchantment card that isn't a god from your graveyard to your hand. That's not what I wanted. Okay, so for a Phyrexian 3 generic, we can transform it. How did the god get, like, infected with the Phyrexians? Wow, I don't even know you, Heliod, anymore. I don't even know you anymore. Heliod the Warped Eclipse. Or a 4/6, you may cast spells as though they had flash. Well, that's not bad. Spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each card your opponents have drawn this turn. That's also not bad. All right, I'll make that pass. Not a bad card. You could play this in an Azorius deck. You see that, commander players? They changed the Phyrexian mana to something of a different color just for you. Catilda and Lear is terrible. Catilda and Lear. We got blue, white, green for a 3/3 human. Whenever you cast a human spell, target instant or sorcery card in your graveyard gains flashback until end of turn. The flashback cost is equal to its mana cost. I agree. Well, okay, so, like, here's the awkward thing. This would be great in some sort of human deck, right? If we could, like, bring back humans from the graveyard, or just bring, you know, like, we want that synergy, but we don't see that synergy here, do we? It's like a Snapcast. It's like slow Snapcaster Mage. Yeah, this is a really slow snap. It's Slowcaster Mage. Slowcaster Mage, Cadilda and Lear. Every human? Oh yeah, that's okay, everyone. Oh, we're all Snapcaster Mage now. But then you have to, like, that's the same thing with, like, that red card, where, like, you want to have a bunch of instants and sorceries, but to get the payoff, you need to have a lot of humans in this deck. We have a lot of humans. You can't use instants and sorceries. So I don't know how this card works, but I'm going to give it the buzzer. I'm buzzing it, people. Fart you! Showcase Rankle and Torbrand for +10 for art, not so good ability. Oh. Some sweet art over there. All right, red, black, 1 generic for a 3/4 flying first strike haste. It's a fairy dwarf. Ah, the fairy's getting a little bit more love over here. Whenever Rankle and Torbrand deals combat damage to a player or battle, choose any number. Each player creates a treasure token. Each player sacks a creature. If a sorcerer deal damage to a player or battle this turn, it deals that much damage +2 instead. Yeah, I'm not in love with this payoff here. Deal damage to a player. Oh, actually, no. So it means that you're dealing 5 damage. It's 5 mana for basically a 5/4 creature. It's not terrible. I'm not in love with it either. But it's not terrible. It could have been worse. We got Nalia here with Infernal Sovereign. Oh, we got black, black, 4 generic for a 6/6 demon. Flying trample. Skip your draw step. Whenever you play a land or cast a spell, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. So you only have, so you basically still get to draw cards. And then if you have any cards in your deck that draw cards, play a land or cast a spell, you draw a card, you lose 1 life. Actually, that Zyber's with me. That's that. So hold on, is that potentially... I think someone could break... No, but you lose a life. I have a feeling you could break this card. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure you could, like, break this card, in my opinion. Dominaria was his to conquer. The Phyrexians were merely the latest fools to stand in his way. It reminds me of, like, Yawgmoth's Bargain in a way. You can't just automatically pay the life. You know, you gotta cast some spells in order to do that. But you can play lands. Anyway, okay. It's not when a land enters the battlefield. Anyway, I think, it's fixed Yawgmoth's Bargain. But it's still a Yawgmoth's Bargain, and that's a bargain. Anyway, we got Stetson. Thanks so much for all the super chat, Stetson. I really appreciate it. Last time I promised. That's okay. You can do whatever you want. An invasion of New Phyrexia. You super chatters run the show around here. But I still give some attention to the non-super chatters. Yeah, I go out of my way to make sure that everyone gets a shot. Okay, blue, white, X. When Invasion of New Phyrexia enters the battlefield, create X/2/2 white and blue night creature tokens with vigilance. And what's the other side do? Oh, we got Teferi! Teferi, where did you come from? Okay, +1, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards unless you discard a creature card. And then -2, get an emblem with knights you control, get +1/+0, and have ward 1. That's a bit of a weird card. And then -3, tap X creatures you control. When you do, shuffle target non-land permanent opponent controls with mana value X or less into its owner's hand. Is this the worst Teferi of all time? This is like fixed Teferi after all the broken Teferis that they've been printing for the last 7 years. Draw 2 cards, discard 2 unless you so it's basically draw 2, discard 1. You get an emblem, knights you control get big and have ward 1. I guess it's fine for the knight deck, but I think it's a little clunky, so I'm not passing this one. Finally, Teferi that's been, it's fair Teferi. Mark Hale with Storm Fever Dream. Is that it? No, I don't see it. Sorry, does not exist. It does not exist. Yeah, April Fool's Teferi. Lucas, Invasion of Kaldheim. Did we do this one? I can't keep track of what we've looked at so far. Red 3 generic. When Invasion of Kaldheim enters the battlefield, exile all cards from your hand and draw that many cards. Until the end of your turn, you may play cards exiled this way. That sounds like garbage. Alright, and then Pyre of the World Tree. Discard a land card. Pyre of the World Tree deals 2 damage to any target. So it's like a seismic assault. Whenever you discard a land card, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. That could be crazy. So the first half of this sucks. Then you got to attack it. I'm going to give it a fail. But if I can be proven that you can get to the second half looks broken. The second half looks really, really good. Discard, deal damage, and then play cards off the top of your library. Why not? Okay, we got GSC BLF. Invasion of New Phyrexia misses if X is 5 or more, destroy other creatures. Ah, yes. Did we look at that one? Yeah, it should be like that. It is missing it. Alright, oh, did they invade Innistrad now, did they? Invasion of Innistrad. Invasion of Valaria, invasion of everything? Or are you just naming one? Maybe they didn't invade Innistrad. Oh, they did. Alright, we got the invasion of Innistrad. Black, black, 2 generic. So where's Emrakul? Flash, when Invasion of Innistrad enters the battlefield, target creature an opponent controls gets -3, -13 until end of turn. It's got Flash. It's a very expensive Tragic Slip, in my opinion. Duelage of the Dead. When Duelage of the Dead enters the battlefield, create 2/2 black zombie creature tokens. black 2 generic, exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a creature card, exile, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. I think this is too much work. I'm not in love with this card. Not in love. The real question is, did Stormcrow get completed? Yeah, that is a good question. A panda! Zurgo and Ojutai. Really? The pair that we didn't ask for, but they brought it anyway. Alright, white, red, blue, 2 generic for a 4/4 Orc Dragon, Flying Haste. Zurgo and Ojutai has hexproof as long as they enter the battlefield this turn. And whenever one or more dragons you control deal combat damage to a player or battle, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. You may return one of those dragons to its owner's hand. You look at the top, deal damage to a player, look at the top 3 cards of your library. It's sort of a stinker, honestly. Now, hold on. What is canon in Khans of Tarkir? Did the dragons win, or did the humans win? Like, what timeline is this? I know the Magic universe is split off into 2 directions. When Teferi is traveling through time, is he also traveling through different variations of the multiverse? Panda's like, I need this card. We'll go get it. As long as they enter the battlefield. But he just looks at the top 3 cards of your library and the rest on the bottom. You may return one of those dragons to its owner's hand. You may return a dragon, to replay and get some more synergy? I guess there are some things like that. Dragons got to live, humans lost. It's over, humans. Hold on. Alright, so there is only one timeline. Jesse, check out Teferi's talent. He's talented, isn't he? Alright, Teferi's talent. 5 mana! Blue, 3 generic. Enchant Planeswalker. Has -12. You get an emblem. You may activate loyalty abilities of planeswalkers you control on any player's turn anytime you could cast an instant. That sucks. Whenever you draw a card, put a loyalty counter on enchanted planeswalker. Oh, that's not bad. I don't like these cards. I'm just gonna... these auras. I can't trust them. I can't, even on a planeswalker. It's so easy to kill, too. Oh, we looked at Borborygmos. Yeah, they're all Commander cards. If you want, hey, by the way, if you want to play these in Commander, I'm sure they're fine. I gotta find a balance between, like, regular Commander and regular competitive Magic. That's how I'm rating these. So if it's good in both, definitely gets the thumbs up. If it's, like, mediocre in one, it's getting the thumbs down. But if it's good in competitive, it's always going to get the thumbs up from me. What else do we have? Felipe. Wakanda Forever Battle. This doesn't exist. What is it? Is it... Okay, hold on. We'll look. Wakanda. No. Sorry. Sorry, Felipe. This card doesn't exist. Okay, we gotta end on something here. The sword? There's a sword? Sword of Once and Future. Oh, I love that name. Alright, the Sword of Once and Future. 3 mana. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has protection from blue and black. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, surveil 2. Then you may cast an instant or sorcery card with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. If the spell would be put in your graveyard, exile it instead. It's terrible! It's absolutely terrible. Anyway, okay, well, that's going to be Coffee and MTG for today. Thank you very much. Now, just a heads up to everyone. I have a family emergency starting tomorrow. There will be Coffee and MTG tomorrow, but it probably is going to be really early. And then the time for Coffee and MTG is going to be completely random for the next, 2 weeks until I, get back to my regular home studio. So it's, there will be Coffee and MTG in some form, probably. Can't guarantee it, but probably. But it's going to be, the timings are going to be completely wild and crazy. But we're going to keep doing, normally, yeah, I'm not even going to give you the times what we normally do this. Just I don't know, be subscribed. Be subscribed to the channel. Thank you very much, everyone supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. Your super chats, everyone who's a member on YouTube have been a patron on Patreon. If you want to support Coffee and MTG, you You go check that. There are links in the description to help support the show. But most importantly, we've got to thank everyone who shows up in the morning, like Christopher B, GSC, Sounds of Sushi, Zick, Flyman, David, El Grande, Fatso, Nalia, Boxbox, Fabrain, Jesse, Abzo, Furious Gamer, Chaos Cultist, David, because without you guys, I'd have no show. So, as usual, keep brewing up those coffees, my coffee crew, and we'll keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.